Hello and welcome to today's video. Today is episode 1, part 1 of a new series I'm going to be doing, making a factory based game. Now, a factory based game, you might have seen games like Manufacturing Roblox, Satisfactory from Epic. I'm going to be making something like that you can follow along with. So today we are going to be spawning for ores, and next episode we're going to be making the UI for the game. So let's get started. I'm going to speed this part up because it is boring watching someone make a block. So I'll see you in a while. Okay, so now we're going to make the script. We need to do some server things. So in server storage, add a new folder and call it store ores. Now you can put your color in there. Now we want to add some vector free values. So these do not have to be named. But basically, grab the coal, place it somewhere, copy the position, and paste it in the value like so. We want to add an attribute to the value called rarity. This is the chances of it spawning there. So in this case, I want this one to spawn to have a chance of 2. Okay, so now that I've done that, we just put our coal in the server, and I'm just going to name this coal for later. So now, time for the script. So make a script and serve the script surface. Before we do this is not my script. In fact, it's a friend script, so I'm going to give them credit. So credit to guy underscore 732 for this script. To make the game clearer, we're going to add a folder in the workspace called ores, and we're going to declare 2 variables. A variable starts with local name equals place. So the first variable is here, so store ores, and the second variable is ores. This would now we're going to have a for loop to loop through all ores in storage, all ores here. We are going to spawn. Doing a spawn means we can do whatever we put in here and go on to the next one. So if we put a function in here, we can do this function without slowing it down. So we're going to put a function in there. Then we're going to make a function spawn underscore or because down here we pass in spawn underscore or. So for or is this, it's a value. So for or would be coal in this case, as it's the only child. It's not the child of this, it's the child of this. The child of stores, because storage ores is the one being called. So we pass this coal in here into this function to add some children. So we're going to loop through all those children, which are these 5 positions, which we made earlier. So we're going to loop clone the coal. We will clone this coal. This is not needed, but we get rid of all children's. So not needed, because if you don't do it, well, if you don't do it, it's fine. You just have useless children with different values. But if you do it, you just have the coal sitting there, making coal. I called it rarity. So we set the attribute rarity to itself. Don't know why, but Roblox does not like having these already in. You normally have to set attribute. Now we're going to set the name, the duplicate or to the duplicate name. Actually, that's not needed. That is not needed, because you duplicate for, so you're duplicating the name. Then we set the position of this neural to this, so let's say that, and then the parent to this folder. So all of this script credit guy_732 on Discord, then also Roblox. So thanks for this script. Now when you test the game, we have 5 ores just spread out everywhere at those positions that you set, and it works with 5 different colors. Now let's say you wanted more ores. Let's say coal wasn't enough for you. Let's say you wanted some iron. Well then, so first of all, so we'll make that wall, so that looks more like a path. That looks good enough for now. It does look something like beans. So you make the wall optional, rename the wall, but it just makes sense. And then I like putting all the ores at the server spawn, so like this, although this is not needed, and it would be better, well, it's better if you put them like window inside the map, because then people can't see it. But that's not needed though, because they're going to stay in the stores anyway. So now when you test, you should have 2 different locations and 2 different things. Yep. You have the iron ores, the coal ore, just like so. But now, if we go back in, let's say you've got like tons of ores. If you go into here, you just get all of these. And it's like, if you have tons of ores, like eventually this much, it's going to be hard to find some ores. So let's edit the script a bit. So we have an ore, but let's make like a folder equals instance, so we make a new instance of a folder in game boss. Now here, instead of having game wars, we can do folder. This would put the wars inside this folder instead. And lastly, you want to do folder.name equals all.name. This means you know. Ooh. Oh wait, folder.name equals all.name. It has to be. Roblox is really picky about spelling. But now, all still work fine, but in here, they are now separated into 2 folders. And just like that, there's your script. Just this one script with 20 lines of code. And just like that, you have just one script. So thank you for watching. Next time we are going to be doing UI. And hope you have a good day, rest of your day or night.